As a result of national movement, India finally achieved freedom from British rule in 1947. ये आपको पता ही है कि 1947 में इंडिया को फ्रीडम मिला था. However, the happiness of freedom was overshadowed by the horrors of partition. अभी ये खुशी मिली ही थी कि हमें फ्रीडम मिल चुका है, फिर एक डर और आ गया था जो कि पार्टीशन का था. टू अंडरस्टैंड द इवेंट्स दैट लेड टू द पार्टीशन ऑफ इंडिया. अब कुछ ऐसे इवेंट्स हुए थे जो कि आपको ईयर वाइज अब एक वीडियो में बताए जाएंगे. वॉच द वीडियो वेरी केयरफुली. उसमें जो इवेंट्स हुए उसकी वजह से क्या हुआ, पार्टीशन हो गई इंडिया की टू पार्ट्स में, इंडिया और पाकिस्तान. पाकिस्तान में जो मुस्लिम्स रहते थे और इंडिया में हम लोग हो गए. तो इन इवेंट्स की वजह से इंडिया की पार्टीशन हो चुकी थी, दो हिस्सों में बट चुका था. तो इस वीडियो में आपको अच्छे से पता चल जाएगा. आप इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स अपनी नोटबुक में लिख सकते हो कि कोई भी क्वेश्चन कहीं से भी आ सकता है. ओके, सो वॉच द वीडियो केयरफुली.
The partition of India. Today, we will try and understand what led to the partition of India into two countries, Pakistan and India. There was a series of events that resulted in this partition. Let us see what they were. The first event was the establishment of a political party called the Muslim League in 1906. The party was formed.
अब देखो ये 1906 से चला था और 1950 तक चलता रहा था. ओके,
based on the belief that the Indian National Congress could not represent the interests of the Muslims in India. When riots between some Hindu and Muslim groups broke out in the 1920s and 1930s, the Muslim League started thinking about the need for a separate Muslim nation. In 1937, the poor performance of Muslim representatives in the provincial elections further convinced the League that the Congress was not representative of Muslim interests. Additionally, the Congress's refusal to form a joint Congress-League government in the United Provinces in 1937 annoyed the Muslim League. The League began viewing Muslims as a separate nation from the Hindus by the late 1930s. In 1940, the Muslim League passed a resolution demanding independent states for Muslims in the northwestern and eastern parts of India. The Muslim League widened its influence during the 1940s, when the Congress leaders were in jail after the Quit India movement. After the end of the Second World War in 1945, the British started talks with the Congress and the Muslim League for the independence of India. However, the talks failed because the League saw itself as the only representative of Muslim interests in India, while the Congress refused to accept this claim, as it was still supported by many Muslims. Then, in the provincial elections of 1946, the Muslim League did well in the constituencies that were reserved for Muslims, but not in the general constituencies where the Indian National Congress did well. This further strengthened the Muslim League's belief that a separate state for Muslims was the only solution. In 1946, a 3-member cabinet mission was sent to India from Britain to discuss the demand for a separate Muslim state and to suggest a suitable political framework for free India. The cabinet mission suggested that India should remain for the Muslim majority areas. However, neither the Indian National Congress nor the Muslim League agreed to the specific details of the proposal suggested by the cabinet mission. After the failure of the cabinet mission, the Muslim League decided on mass agitations for its demand for a separate nation for Muslims. The date decided for mass agitations was 16th August 1946. They called it the Direct Action Day. On this day, riots broke out in Calcutta and they lasted for several days. These riots resulted in the death of thousands of people.
You should know what was the Direct Action Day और वो क्यों लिया गया, उसका रीज़न क्यों था. आपको ये पता होना चाहिए. वीडियो को अच्छे से देख के इम्पॉर्टेंट नोट्स में आप ये चीज़ों को लिख सकते हो.
By March 1947, violence had spread to different parts of northern India. In 1947, the partition of India took place and Pakistan was born. The partition is considered to be one of the most horrific events, not only in Indian history, but also in world history. It led to the death of lakhs of people. Women faced unspeakable atrocities. People were torn away from their homes and forced to live a life of refugees in a foreign land. Thus, the happiness of India's independence was eclipsed by the tragedy of the partition.